we see the requisite game of rock, paper, scissors to start the event. Look like Scissors Lizard got the job done tonight. On the left, Stefan Lowe playing 4-color combo. You might have heard us talking about it a little bit earlier. As we see, it's basically, as we've gotten some inside information from Eric here, it's basically a Exquisite Blood combo. And then possibly other combos, we'll just have to see. We'll find out along with you. And he is playing, of course, the local legend, Adam Vickers, who is on Grixis Control. He played that to an undefeated record last week. And, of course, is well on his way tonight. Adam is 3-0 tonight. He got paired down in this round against Stefan, who is on 2-1. So the combo here, as we are, of course, my name is Zachary Evans, joined tonight by Eric Schmidt, and just joined by Scott Driver. The combo that we think is being played is Exquisite Blood with Vizcapa Guild Mage, which is basically...
That is correct.
Did you play against him?
No, but I believe Alec Myers did.
And you saw what's going on. So basically, which that combo is, Exquisite Blood says whenever you gain life, they lose equal life.
Yes.
And
each
then,
opponent loses that much life.
And then Vizcapa Guild Mage says every time...
It's like it's the other way around. So Exquisite Blood's whenever an opponent loses life, you gain that much life. Mm-hmm. And Vizcapa Guild Mage is whenever you gain life, each opponent loses that much life.
So basically, you just make them lose one life, and then it's this infinite cycle of... Because can't you also activate the Guild Mage to make them lose one life or something?
You can activate the Guild Mage to get a creature lifelink, which also...
yeah, so any adjustment of life totals on either side will trigger that combo if you have that part. So, and then there's also possible rumor that he might have the Boros Reckoner infinite life gain combo as well, so we'll just wait and see. But I thought it would be interesting to get a deck on here that we haven't seen. I also know for a fact that Table 1 would not play on camera, so I didn't bother, and then Table 2 we've already seen, so... Back to the action at hand, we saw a turn 4 Jace Architect of Thought get countered by Adam, and then he answers on his own turn 5 with his own Architect. Which, if unanswered, is just going to bury Stefan in card disadvantage. So we use a mini Factor Fiction ability here. We see Vampire Nighthawk, Nephalia Drownyard, and Searing Spear. You get, I would think, based on his combo, I would think you would take the Searing Spear versus the other pile, right? Of course, I don't know what his hand is. I don't know what's in his deck. I don't know why I'm making this, trying to make these strategic commentary points, not having any idea what cards are in his deck. There's an Elixir, likely a one-of, I would imagine. A lot of these like control-ish decks playing that just to answer Drownyard into.
It also starts off with Salmo. And it can be you pay 5 mana and crack it, activating the Guild Mage for 5 damage.
Seems pretty good.
So,
also good is the Super Friend strategy that Vickers is going with here.
Yep.
Following up his Jace AOT with Tamiyo, Socks and Sandals.
So it looks like we're not seeing any red in the 4-color control, so it looks like no Boros Reckoner. Of course, you can cast them for white.
Technically, you can cast them all off of white sources, but that's it's going to be tough in the 4-color deck.
There's 2 Guild Mages. Prime targets for... Well, I guess
but the problem with the combo is that not only can he Searing Spear one of them, of course having the redundant Guild Mages is going to give him some outs to the Searing Spear as removal, but it requires 6 mana to effectively combo off, right? Because the Guild Mage costs 2 to activate.
It costs 3 to activate.
So it costs 7 mana. So let's bring these cards up. Because Exquisite Blood costs...
it's a 5-drop enchantment.
So he's going to activate the second ability for 3 mana, and then Exquisite Blood is a 4-drop. So he's basically going to need 7 mana to do it all in one turn, not lose 2.
Exquisite Blood's 5.
It costs 5.
Yes.
Yikes. So he's going to be up against it in this matchup. There is Exquisite Blood. Does it resolve? Adam does have Izzet Charm open, but no, it doesn't. And I don't think in his colors, I don't think Adam can answer the Exquisite Blood directly once it's on the table. You can't tap it with Tamiyo. I guess technically you could, right? But it has no effect. So there's Exquisite Blood. This costs 5. Whenever Adam loses life, he's going to gain it. With a scary vampire on it. Scary Dracula. Now someone is putting, it's a shop regular Matt Taylor putting infinite dog pictures in the, looks like there's a pouring too, in the chat. So if you're watching on YouTube, that's what you're missing out on live, is various... Someone also not liking the interaction between having a main deck Magmaquake and Planeswalkers. But Adam also doesn't have access to another sweeper. I guess he can play Bonfires, but he doesn't have Bonfires.
Rolling Timber.
Yeah. Rolling Timber is only like the worst pyroclasm ever.
Yeah. It's not the pyroclasm which is
Yeah. So Desecration Demon, which is a combo, 4 lands in Desecration Demon's pretty good combo. So we see a Tamiyo tick up to 8. Of course, it can ultimate next turn. We see Azorius Charm take out the...
I'll just let it hit me.
No. He did. He just drew a card, is what he did. And Adam assumed it was...
There's no life change. He gains 2 after it hits him, because Adam gains 2. Stefan gains 2.
Did I miss the life total earlier?
I don't know.
No, it's when his opponent loses life.
It is when he loses life.
We are having problems keeping track of these odd interactions. Detention Sphere on Tamiyo, if it resolves, is very good. Does it resolve being the question? Counterflux being live, Dissipate being live.
Syncopate?
Forbidden Alchemy, it is an FNM promo, Forbidden Alchemy. We see an Olivia, that's what ends up in Adam's hand, but the Detention Sphere is going to resolve. Assuming that Adam was digging for an answer, which seemed pretty likely in that situation. So Stefan, knowing that Vickers doesn't have a counterspell, but can't follow up with the on the Detention Sphere. I would very much like to see Stefan's deck go off, but he's going to have a hard time doing that against just the raw control deck of Vickers. Dissipate, Dreadbore. So it's Dissipate or nothing, right? No? Dissipate. He was with the Dreadbore. Yes, Adam very guilty of almost every time tries to put it in his graveyard. Flashing back Alchemy, or is this Dr. Nicholas B? That's the old... Are you familiar with the stream meme that is Dr. Nicholas Bolus, MD?
I am not.
1 week, Cliff Markham was playing a Grixis deck, and he came in here and said that I don't know what exactly he said, but he says, one card he liked in it was Nicholas Bolus. But he wasn't doing it, ironically. He just accidentally said Nicholas Bolus. So we, of course, gave him the... we went ahead and gave him his doctoral degree there. He's Dr. Nicholas Bolus, MD.
Well, he is the first multicolored card printed in a core set.
He is.
So...
Jace, Architect of Thoughts. I'm going to draw him it's basically a very expensive draw card because it's going to get Nicholas Bede here in a second. So it's Drownyard or 2 lands. Takes the 2 lands. What's in the back of Stefan's sleeves, do you know?
It is a squirrel with a machine gun.
And it says, I believe, coming for your nuts.
Yes. Yes, it does.
Of course it does.
What has happened? Our stream has devolved into this situation where we've got commando squirrels attacking people's genitals. But basically, at that point, we can have our own half-hour comedy on Comedy Central, can't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Still
right.
better than Mencia.
Find us following Tosh.0 this Wednesday. I'm embarrassed by how much I'm enjoying that it says coming for your nuts.
It's been a long week, man.
Oh, man. It has. I've mentioned multiple times as we see another uptick from old Bolus.
I'm still loopy from moving all week.
Nugging the... yeah, you did move last weekend. I remember you mentioning that.
Yeah.
How's the new digs?
Well, it's cross lanes. So it's cross lanes-ish.
But how is the...
The domicile itself is acceptable.
You just don't like the location of said domicile.
I don't like Cross Vegas very much.
Cross Vegas, of course, for those of you unfamiliar, Cross Lanes formerly at one point was the largest unincorporated town in America, and it does house our local gaming facility, also known as the Greyhound track,
Yeah.
and the casino there involved. So there's a guild mage. If he has an Exquisite Blood in his hand, can he win here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 mana would work, right?
Yeah.
Well, no, it won't work because he needs to either gain life or deal damage, right? He can't just do it with the 2 cards. He needs some kind of trigger, right? Izzet Charm to draw cards, and now it doesn't matter because he basically needs O-Ring here, or a Detention Sphere at this point, just to stay in the game, period. Because the Nicholas Bolas is going to ultimate next turn.
Oh, that's a scoop. So, Bolas got off.
So, yet another Planeswalker ultimate tonight. We saw Veraska ultimate twice and win 2 games. Earlier, we see Nicholas Bolas, MD, fire off and net Adam game 1 of this round 4 pairing. So Adam on 3 wins. If he wins this game, he can he can definitely draw into the top 8. Stefan on 2 and 1 probably could draw in himself because he will have very good breakers as the best 3-1.
Yeah, if he goes in 3-1, if he goes in 3-1 and 1, he can absolutely.
So they're playing for. And there's a lot at stake here, guys.
Yeah.
Lot at stake.
This is the big time.
Over 10 packs probably for the winner.
Probably.
In excess of 10 packs.
Ask the stream if I should play Jund aggro or Gruul aggro next.
So there's a good question for the chat. Scott Driver asking, next week when he plays at this very FNM stream, what deck should he play? Should it be Gruul aggro or should it be Jund aggro? Feel free to comment now in the chat. You can also feel free to comment in the YouTube comment section, but the high likelihood that no one will notice. That's not true. I will notice, but I will probably not go through the effort of relaying all those messages.
Now, why does Adam's red zone on his ancient playmat not break the stream?
I can only imagine, just from a variety of caked-on feces and dirt over so many years, that it's basically a different color.
His bearded dragon has probably.
Did you? Yes, he does have a bearded dragon, which is very fun. That's not an innuendo either. That is an actual animal. Did you see last week when Adam wrote on his own playmat? That was one of our lowlights of the week last week. He went to change his life total, and just the paper moved, and he just drew a big line right across the right of it.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's still. I would go out there and look at it. Did Stefan not sideboard? Does he not have a sideboard? Looks like the chat is about, I don't know, 90% on Gruul.
Yep.
So I said blue aggro. That seems unlikely.
Well, there's a blue-white aggro deck in the field that the last 2 times has top-8'd, so...
Well, Delver was probably my favorite deck ever, but then they decided that we can't have nice things anymore.
Well, I have an issue when the best aggressive creature across 3 formats is a blue 1-drop.
Yeah.
Well, it was my intention to play it in every format ever as long as it was legal, but they proved my intention misplaced by completely neutering anything that can possibly make it.
It's just Ponder, I think, that you lost. There's still an interesting Grixis Delver list in Modern, and there's an interesting Bug list in Standard that's done good on some MTGO dailies I saw. Looks like Vickers mulliganing to 6. That's a rough one. I only saw 1 Steam Vince in that one. Could be wrong here. Oh, there was a Drowned Catacomb.
So what's the consensus here? Gruul?
Gruul.
Gruul's the consensus.
Yeah, screw it. I'll play Gruul.
The people have spoken. They want you to play Gruul. So you will.
Yep. Probably play that 18-land Zerg Rush deck.
Yes, just every creature all the time.
Yeah, because that seems really skill-intensive.
Magic is very tough sometimes. Chromatic Lantern, which is very good at fixing the 4-color deck's mana base. Miracle Drownyard, tap for 4 Desecration Demon. Needs to dissipate. I do think it's interesting that Desecration Demon is like his plan B. Like he has the combo, and then he has just like, here's just this guy, can you deal with him? Because Desecration Demon is very easy for Adam to kill, especially since it only has a few, since Adam's deck has tons of removal, and Stefan's deck doesn't really put more than 6 creatures on the board in any game. But It's just very interesting, because if he doesn't have an answer to it, it just gets out of control fast. Supreme Verdict. It's interesting that the Verdict stayed in, although, like I said, I'm not sure Stefan actually sideboarded. So that would be one of the reasons why they stayed in, is that there's literally no other cards that could have replaced them. But to being able to Supreme Verdict forward, here's another demon.
What's with the dog aggro? Oh, is that the Tailors?
Yes, it's one of the Tailors. It's the youngest Tailor.
No, the best Tailor of all, obviously, is Taylor Swift.
Is Tim the Toolman Tailor? We should have that poll. Who is the best Tailor?
I'm still undefeated with the Taylor Swift shirt.
So, the second Desecration Demon that we see Stefan cast has in fact stuck and has not been killed as of yet. So pre-combat Farseek here, turning his lands sideways right into the glare. I don't know, the glare is like week in, week out. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. I'd like to think it has something to do with black magic and hand waving, but I can't be for certain.
Whose idea was it to give the stream graphical capability?
That, of course, was the choice that the internet made by existing. And
It's a bad decision.
So the Desecration Demon serves in. Why is it? Yeah, okay. 14. So a 4-turn clock on the demon. Vickers has a lot of. It get in again?
It did.
They're doing some weird things here where they're like they're attacking before they untap their lands and things like that. So it's tough for me to keep. Does Stefan know he can tap the Chromatic Lantern for mana? Because he has it in an area which suggests to me that maybe he will not be tapping it for mana.
I'm just going to start playing my lands up front.
Nicholas B? Does it resolve? Steal your demon? Well, that is the worst. I thought this game was like, it was like funny how like these two control decks weren't interacting at all. It was just, I play a dude, I attack twice. You tap out for your dude, steal it, no problem. I guess like Azorius Charm is like pretty good in this spot too, because you can attack, Azorius Charm it back to the top of your library.
Gruul Charm would be outstanding. You'd actually get to use the middle mode for the only time ever in the history of Destruction Magic.
That's true. That's true.
You gain control of all of your stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gruul Charm is the worst. I had it in my steel pool at the pre-release, and I was like, this card is not... Like, this is the worst possible card I could have. It's a sideboard card only against blue-white flyers. And there is, in fact, the play as described, Azorius Charm my own thing. What did he blow up? The Drownyard? Mizzium Mortars on the Guild Mage. So Stefan down to, and there's another copy of Olivia there, and this time with mana up to ping something. Like, there's no way Stefan can win this game now, right? Because he needs like
a lot of mana.
8 mana to critically mass combo with his Exquisite Blood combo, and then like
and that's with the Guild Mage already on the field.
He's going to he's going to constantly be losing a land every turn from Nicholas B.
I'm surprised we haven't seen the lantern blown up yet.
Well, much like I think Stefan has forgotten it, I think Hannah may have also forgotten it. It's over there. Nope. Speak of the devil. There, in fact, but he still does have outs here. He can draw the Detention Sphere. It's very unlikely that it resolves, but he does have that out, right? I see Sphinx's Revelation in his hand, which is not very good at this spot, as well as some more lands. Jace. Architect of Thought. I'm going to dig for some answers. Verdict. Farseek. Island. So, verdict or no? I don't take the verdict. The verdict isn't going to help you win. The land in Farseek is going to at least help you save 3 lands to cast a Detention Sphere should you ever draw it. So what's Nicole Bolas's ultimate here? Is he on 9?
I think it... I don't know.
Good thing I've got technology. Yep. Boom. It is in fact 9. Just blow him up, make him sack 7 permanent, seems fine to me, right? We talked about this before, like there's some planeswalkers that you never ultimate and kill them.
Right.
Tameo and the good doctor there seem like ones that are perfectly fine with nugging because their emblem is just so good.
And we just heard a controversial statement from outside.
Well, that was from the next room over. We hear shop manager JB says he's come to the conclusion that Boros Charm sucks. I would disagree, but based on probably the small sample size of whatever JB's event tonight, I'm sure it probably was not the best card for him. Is there literally, as I have not updated the live totals to affect the Nicole Bolas damage, is there any circumstance here where this game could not end in like Vickers conceding or getting DQ'd? Did you see the streak on his mat?
Yeah.
When he moved his live total sheet.
It is Vickers, so it's possible he might start gnawing on his own cards. Or
he could. I believe we looked it up. Nicole Bolas's ultimate is in fact targeted, so you can target yourself. You can make that mistake.
Or if you get Mind Slinger.
Has there ever been an instance where someone activated Nicole Bolas's ultimate with someone has a Ley Line of Sanctity out? That would be hilarious, because you can't target them and you've already activated, so you have to choose the only available option, which is, of course...
Yeah, no, I haven't seen that. I've seen a lot of Gatekeeper from Malakir triggers, where they kicked it with the Ley Line of Sanctity out. That was a thing for a while.
Now we have the worst possible scenario, which is Stefan has accidentally changed the back color on the live tracker app. Their life total is now incorrect, but I guess I should keep their life total.
It's irrelevant.
Yeah, I know, but they'll keep on keeping on. We'll keep on keeping on. Question in chat, why is this game still going on?
Well, there's nothing to gain by conceding. I mean, he could hope that Vickers had a debilitating aneurysm or something.
Yeah. He did eliminate his only threat. But this might be the greatest comeback of all time. Yeah, there's 25 minutes left in the round. Like, it's not like you gotta rush. Drown, yeah. Oh, I forgot Vickers had Drownyard online. So you're just gonna mill him out. I really get I really dislike that Nicole Bolas art though from the duel deck.
Yeah.
I know that's first world problems and it has nothing to do with this match, but
they should have just reprinted the Elder Dragon art.
Well, they always do.
That was some nice art.
Oh, the original creature Elder Dragon.
Yeah.
Or at least some like homage to that. Because the old Nicole Bolas, the actual dragon, not that intimidating.
No,
Nicole Bolas, the Planeswalker, looked pretty badass.
I think the original was only playable in a Shallow Grave combo deck for about 1 weekend.
It's pretty nice in a Scion of the Ur-Dragon EDH deck, though.
Oh, it's very good in EDH. Staving off the inevitable, Stefan comes up with an O-ring for the Rakdos key rune. So he's choosing to die by milling here.
Now, in the old days, this is when Stefan would have said, well, I guess that's it, waited for Adam to scoop up his cards and call it a judge.
Yes. In the Wild West of... so we see Magmaquake, Forbidden Alchemy, and...
Vampire Nighthawk.
Stefan choosing one pile. The rare one pile selection.
And the stream is mono puppy.
For those of you who are watching this on YouTube after the fact, I know that there's no way that you can see this necessarily. Actually, that's not entirely true. Let's do that right there. And now you're going to be able to see just a portion of the chat, which is just literally this puppy all over the place all the time. So congratulations to Vickers, and congratulations to our chat for being obnoxious.
And that only very slightly lowers the default level.
Yeah, there's very little. You're exactly right, Scott. Just looking at all those puppies in the chat is about the same quality as listening to us talk about Magic. I cannot argue with the truth. So congratulations to Adam. He moves to undefeated on the night. This is, in fact, 2 straight FNMs that he has gone undefeated and drawn into the finals. So congratulations to him.
I find that offensive.
Well, he's playing some red cards, so you should like some of that.
No, it's not the cards, it's Adam.
Oh, well, Adam is very offensive. I can't argue with that. But we will step out here. See, we got 20 minutes left in the round. Let me see if I can find another match for you. And then I'll be right back. Feel free, guys, to talk about whatever you want to.
Try to find someone who looks uncomfortable when you ask them if they would like to be on the stream.
Well, they just refuse to be.
So I heard you like puppies. Yes, puppies have become very popular tonight. Oh look, we have we have some new stuff. We've got some faces, so we have a little bit less mono puppy on the stream.
A challenger appears.
But
So Gruul Aggro.
Gruul
I
Aggro.
decided if I wanted to do pure Zerg Rush or something with like Gyre Sage and Domri Ray.
Gruul Aggro is pretty interesting. You have some big hitter, or you have some very interesting little fellas like the Experiment 1.
Yep.
Evolving up from just a 1/1 to something terrifying. Also has a regenerate trigger to keep it on the board. You have the new star of the format with the
Reckoner.
not the Reckoner, but
Burning Tree.
our Burning Tree Emissary. Yes, thank you very much. So you know, Burning Tree just gets in there and is quite effective at what it does.
Yeah, the version that I was looking at, the 18 land, is essentially red deck wins.
Got one. It is the aforementioned Wright Brothers Civil War.
They always play each other.
Yeah, they do run, you know, that's kind of mean, but there's no feces.
Oh, Vickers is in here
There's
now.
dirt. There's dirt, probably, and food.
And feces.
Well, I don't know what those
Well,
things
has your
are.
lizard gotten near it?
No, my lizard has not.
For those of you who don't know, Vickers has the worst pet.
It really is.
Hey, you gotta be careful. My wife also has one of those.
Yeah, but it probably doesn't, you know, crap into its cage, and then when you let it out an hour later, continue to crap on your things that you love.
It might.
Well,
It defecates a lot.
yeah.
What is Scotty playing? Oh, Black-White Zombies?
Yeah, and there are a lot of really cool synergies with that. I was watching him play for a while there, and I think his board state was Diregraph Ghoul, Blood Artist, Cartel Aristocrat,
Yeah,
Gerald's Messenger, and he had a Restoration Angel.
I think the whole deck is synergy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just...
I saw some guy playing this, like, the top tables in Cincinnati, and actually, like, tweeted about it. Like, at table 3 in, like, round 4, there's an, what's the 2-drop that flips into a 3/3?
Mare.
No, it's like it's a girl, and then she turns into like a ghost.
youth.
Oh, the Exquisite.
Cloistered Youth.
Cloistered Youth, yeah.
Unholy Fiend.
Yeah. So on table 2, like table 3, they just blasted back to. I'm just walking by and I'm seeing, you know, Wolf Run, a bunch of tap lands, Boar Specters, and then Cloistered Youth flip for 3/3, and I'm like, so clearly the guy knows what he's doing because he's at the top tables at like a very late point in the tournament.
I like that pictures now.
That deck seems like it has a lot of play. Any of the aristocrat-based decks just seem like there's so many opportunities to screw something up.
So just to do a hard reset here, we are moving to our feature match bonus coverage. As Adam Vickers was so successful in his round 4 feature, that we move now to the Wright Brothers Civil War, which features Jonathan on the left, who we saw earlier tonight, playing American Flash, versus his brother Scotty, who is playing Black-White Zombies. They did both mold to 4, and we did see that Scotty was on the play, meaning that Jonathan won game 2, which makes sense, right? And we see, oh, I have them backwards.
Well, mine's more set for combat. Yeah.
Have them backwards.
They don't get me killed. You can point me, but you don't get killed. Alright, because I'll be holding on to everyone's character.
As the D&D players walk by.
Boom. There we go. So yeah, the deck that Scotty's playing has a lot of classic aggro zombies interactions, but then it also just plays a quick Thalia. No big deal. Azorius Charm, end of turn, cycles. We saw an Augur Volus catch a Pillar of Flame.
I really like Scotty's deck.
Oh, he cycled the Azorius Charm in response to the Thalia, so he could cast it for 2. And then the Cavern of Souls, is the Cavern of Souls mostly named zombies in this? I mean, if he's playing Gerald's Messenger, it always has to, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because he has, I know he has ghouls, Gerald's Messenger. I'm assuming he has grave crawlers for the interaction with the aristocrats.
So it's playing Cartel Aristocrats,
Yes,
but no red, so it's not playing Falcon Wrath Aristocrat.
correct. Yeah, he said that he wants to kind of get up to speed on the black-white and then start adding in the additional interactions, because it really is kind of an easy deck to screw up the lines on.
And we see a Boros Reckoner come down for Jonathan, met with a Orzhov Charm, which is seeing a lot more play in these, in the Sam Black deck that did well at the Pro Tour, well, it won the Pro Tour, I guess, in the hands of Tom Martell. Interesting interaction because it would get back things like Doom Traveler, which just, just tons of card advantage.
Okay, this puppy, who is that?
I don't know, versus some guy.
Yeah, puppy versus some guy.
Puppy is greater than all, apparently.
As the YouTube people think that we've just completely lost our mind.
Well,
they view this later.
I'm going to be honest with you, based on analytics I've seen, it's very unlikely that the YouTube viewers have watched to this point.
Right.
They usually watch the first game and then quit. It's a very sharp drop-off on that graph. We see Scotty add a Gravecrawler to the board to pair with his Thalia. Of course, neither of them can profitably attack through Augur of Bolas. So an interesting standoff here. The longer the game goes, obviously, the better chance Jonathan has. He's the one playing Supreme Verdicts and Sphinx's Revelation. 2 mana Pillar of Flame, playing around the Thalia attacks. 4th land for Scotty. Does his curve top off at 3? No, he has Angel, you said.
Yeah, he has Rest in Angels.
Why? Just for
Gerald's Messenger?
Yeah. I mean, it's a perfectly fine card. It's not like it's a bad card. So he's just going to run it out here. Try to get Jonathan to tap low so he can resolve a Liliana.
Comes an Angel.
I must have missed some damage at some point. I know nothing about this deck. I mean, I've seen it, parts of it, but it's just...
Well, he can do interactions like run out the Messenger and an Aristocrat, get an extra use out of it. After he can sack to the Aristocrat once, flash it with the Restoration Angel, sack it again. He can get a lot of damage out of one Gerald's Messenger.
It is very effective.
So there's the Cartel Aristocrat in response Sphinx's Revelation? Or is that just an end-of-turn Sphinx's Revelation? For 3.
And with a Blood Artist out there.
Oh, yeah, he's playing Blood Artist. Now, Cartel Aristocrat, sack a creature, Cartel Aristocrat gets protection from a color of your choice.
Correct.
It's just the Aristocrat, it's not target creature, right? So little could be super degenerate or
the nice thing
super
is, too,
effective.
obviously, I don't know how many Reckoners are in this room, but Cartel Aristocrats obviously nuts against Reckoners.
Yeah, because they never deal damage to it, which is why the same black deck was playing the Doom Travelers and Lingering Souls, because you just never ever get to attack with your Reckoner. Or you never deal damage with the Reckoner.
Reckoner is actually really hard for the aggro decks themselves to get past. There's just no way to interact with that thing well. What are you going to do, Searing Spear?
I think the best response is Boros Charm your guys and Searing Spirit and hope for the best. Or
To Reckoner?
Yeah.
I like a nice abrupt decay every now and then. So here's Mizzium Mortars. I'm going to sack the Gravecrawler to give the Cartel Aristocrat pro-red, but still, it's a 2-for-1. You can't... It's basically, I'm going to pay extra mana so I can just kill your Restoration Angel with upside. But while you're tapped out, resolve Liliana. I'm going to make him sack his Augur of Bolas and get in with his Aristocrat. Now, if Jonathan doesn't have a burn spell to deal with that Liliana, it's just going to start eating into his hands. Scotty with a Vampire Nighthawk, Restoration Angel, and Orzhov Charm in hand. So the Orzhov Charm is basically expendable at this point. So even if he doesn't draw a land or something he wants to pitch, he can effectively bend the Orzhov Charm. I guess he doesn't have the mana to end of turn it here. You can get your Gravecrawler back, right?
Yeah.
Is it 1 cost or 1 power? Orzhov
Cost,
Charm.
I'm sure.
It's 1 cost. So you can get back Doom Traveler and
Gravecrawler and all kinds of goodies.
Yeah, getting back Gravecrawler doesn't seem super strong
Death
a lot of
Ray.
the time.
Deathrite. Does it play Deathrite?
it doesn't play Deathrite, I don't think.
Doesn't it bounce one of your guys too?
Well, let's
Orzhov
just-
Charm,
And all
let's
the
just-
auras on it?
Let's just use our technology.
I haven't gotten to play any Gate Crash Limited yet, believe it or not, so I have not really read a lot of these cards.
Boom!
Yeah, so you get more use out of
Return
your
target
Gerald's
creature and all of its auras you control to its hand? To its owner's hand. Destroy target creature and use life equal to its toughness, or return target creature with converted mana cost 1 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield.
Messenger. Another good Gerald's Messenger interaction there.
And while I was looking at that, Boros Reitner happened. Boros Reckoner is still good. I mean, Orzhov Charm answers it. I just said it was expendable, but now it seems to be like the perfect answer in this spot. He can also play around Izzet Charm in this spot. Can you see what Jonathan has? He has a Steam Vents, I see. What's this tell? What card does Scotty have that he's telling by looking at that? Or is he just trying to figure out how many of each he's used? Because he's drawn an O-ring.
How many cards does Jonathan have?
In his hand, looks like 2.
Probably trying to play around Snapcaster too.
Yeah. So he's going to Orzhov Charm. The Reckoner. Take 3. And is he going to pitch a Nighthawk, or is he going to... Liliana is interesting because there's, like, this is one of those examples where, like, you might not use Liliana at all. It's one of the very few planeswalkers, I'm trying to think of another one where you would choose not to use any of its abilities.
Tibble.
Tibble. Well, he's one of the only planeswalkers that I would choose to not include in any of my decks.
I tried so hard to...
You had him as a sideboard card in red deck.
Filtering, against control, but he just... Tibble sucks.
He does suck.
It's such high hopes for him, man.
If they reprinted Madness cards, would he be good?
No.
Because the random discard just makes him awful. Yeah. And I think it was just an interesting experiment they had. It was like, we want to print a 2-cost Planeswalker, probably should be red, but we don't want it to be too good because like that could have ruined the format, so let's just make him really bad.
But yeah, even with Madness, he's a lot of trouble to go to.
He does have...
Circular
You're right. He does have really cool art, though.
Yeah.
And he's a cool thematic character.
He is.
Fancy double.
So Jonathan... Thought-scouring himself main phase, he's just running out of business here. He's not really on a huge clock as we do see a Snapcaster come down. Taking out the Nighthawk, correct? No, he flashed back the... So the old block with Aristocrat, flash an Angel, bounce Aristocrat. That's a very dangerous play. Well, I mean, I guess if he's protecting Liliana, it's fine, but if your Angel gets countered, then your guy gets destroyed. So, you can't give yourself pro-Supreme Verdict. No. And Jonathan deciding if he wants to tap Lowe for Reckoner, or leave up whatever the other card in his hand is, which I can't see. And of course I am. What you can't see on the stream is that I did lean in my chair to one direction to try and get an angle. Knowing that's not how 2D works. Interesting, we are getting some breaking news that they have just spoiled that the next Judge Foil promo is going to be Crucible of Worlds. That is very pretty, so I will save this image and bring it up for you guys later.
It's very interesting.
It is a foil, and it is the old card border. I like it.
It is.
So thanks to Chaz. Is it Chaz?
Chaz, yeah.
Chaz Dragon Tamer. Always doing us a solid. Searing Spear takes out Liliana, and now Scotty is in the unenviable position of virtually no business against the control deck. End of turn Angel again. That's the third one this game, isn't it? 5-turn clock with his brother at 14 life to start. Attack takes him down to 11, and he passes back. Did you say 10 minutes remaining in the round? Of course, my clock for entertainment purposes only. Harvest Pyre. Now the Harvest Pyre is in there for those of you unfamiliar because it has a very cute interaction with Boros Reckoner, which is that you can, like in this situation now, he could Harvest Pyre his own Reckoner and kill Scotty.
Now, is he pretty much playing Jerry Thompson's list? Do you know?
I would imagine it's very similar.
I know he had a Singleton Harvest Pyre.
Yeah, it's just one. He did pretty good in the past, as we see the perfect answer to Geralt's Messenger, which is the FNM promo Pillar of Flame. Scotty has a land and another card I couldn't see in his hand.
It's pointed
Oh,
out in the chat, we haven't seen nearly any zombies in this quote zombie unquote deck.
Well, we've seen two Geralt's Messengers. We've seen a Geralt's Messengers and two Gravecrawler.
Crawlers. But yeah, like
That's basically all the zombies that zombies played.
Yeah.
Short of Diregraph Ghouls.
Yeah, Diregraph Ghoul.
They played Rakdos Cackler and Falconwrath Aristocrat and Hellrider and Thundermaw. Thalia, not nearly as good against the control deck when it has 400 lands out, but still a threat. Izzet Charm with the two... Oh no, he's looting. Discard a land and another land. Only one of which was cool and unhinged.
Well, Jonathan claims that he went through and fixed his land art disparities recently because he got daggered for it so much.
Thalia is the best zombie.
So Thalia meets a Searing Spear, and these guys are just trading, not really trading haymakers, they both exhaust him. Scotty plays a threat, Jonathan answers it, Jonathan lands a threat, and Scotty answers right back. There's an Augur of Bolus. A Sphinx's Revelation at this point is basically backbreaking. That's the 4th time on camera tonight that Jonathan has whiffed on an Augur of Bolus. I'm sure he's lamenting that fact out there as we speak. So Jonathan with 2 cards in hand after his draw.
Well, hopefully he's putting some lands on the bottom of the deck.
Yeah, and hopefully not Reckoners or
Yeah.
Angels or whatever. So Vampire Nighthawk drawn from Scotty. He also has a O-ring in hand. So just another land for Jonathan. Counting his own deck. Never a good sign.
Oh, I didn't see Scott in here, sorry.
Now I'm trying
I'll
to...
just go.
No, you don't have to go. You can at least watch the game.
No, I'm not staying in here with Garrett.
The Carrot. Garrett the Carrot.
I do need to go do some trading real quick before the next round starts.
So there we see the aforementioned
It depends on what form, man.
back-breaking
What are you on?
Sphinx's Revelation.
Free raking of the teeth
Drawing 7
across the
cards.
sidewalk.
That seems unlikely, man.
There's a lot of dogs in the chat.
Yeah,
A lot.
there's a lot of dogs out there in the store.
A lot of dogs.
So just under 7 minutes left in the match.
Good luck in your trading.
Gracias. Goodbye, stream. Goodbye, puppies.
See you later, Scott. So
This is, hey,
hold on, guys.
it's your game.
Liliana up to 4 loyalty. Scotty sitting on an Oblivion Ring, which will answer that Boros Reckoner well, assuming it resolves.
Sorry, Zach.
No, you're fine. I was just seeing if the door was shut. So Jonathan just refilling his hand with that Sphinx's Revelation is just like, there's nothing in Scotty's deck that's even comparable to that power level.
Black White Zombies? Yeah, if he didn't duress it, then not much you can do about it. I mean, nothing runs stress in sideboard.
He's scooping it up?
That is game.
Is he just scooping to that?
Yeah. I
Seems
would.
to be.
Oh, okay. So what I didn't see there, and what is really cool, is his Snapcaster Flashback Harvest Pyre, Nug my own Reckoner.
Right.
The same play I talked about earlier, but it happened, and I missed it because I'm an idiot, and now I hate everybody. So, thanks a lot, America. Well, congratulations to Jonathan Wright. He wins that match against his brother, which puts him
One, I
at...
think.
Yep, they were both 2-1, so Scotty drops to 2-2, likely out of top 8 contention. His brother, 3-1 and drawing live. So we got about 5 minutes left in the round, as you can see from the now properly adjusted timer. We'll take this opportunity to do a quick bit of business. First and foremost of which is to remind everyone who's watching that if you are in the greater Ohio Valley area, make sure to head on down to Lost Legion Games and Comics on Saturday, March 30th for our 12 noon start. Standard Invitational Qualifier for the Star City Games Invitational Series. $250 in cold hard cash goes to the winner, along with their choice of entries into one of the 4 invitationals to be held by Star City this year. Prize packs as listed to the top 8. Of course, additional prizes for additional turnout. So if you're coming, make sure you bring a carload so that the prize pool is even bigger. Top 8 also gets series points. an exclusive playmat, and top 8 pin. Door prizes will be drawn for as well randomly throughout the day. There's the information on the store, how to contact them via phone or their website. And of course, if you can't make it down, watch all the coverage here, live streaming from the Broom Closet, twitch.tv/ZachSellsMagic. Be a perfect opportunity to click the follow button, which is above and to the left of the video window on the page you're watching right now. You'll receive an email notification anytime our stream goes live. So that is not Scotty Wright, that is in fact Garrett Relentless.
That's right. Is there a sleep-in special for the SGG IQ?
Yeah. If you pay me $10, you can registration's 11 for you. Don't have to be here till 11. So no, but it is cool. So I've mentioned it before. I will continue to mention it multiple times throughout the night as well as throughout the next month. That is a perfect way for you to, number one, come down, play some Magic. More important than anything else, regardless of how it benefits our store, you can win $250 cash. You can earn some Star City points. The Invitational series is very lucrative, and they have 4 of them throughout the year, so you can definitely find one that's... do you know where the locations are? I haven't looked it up, but I'm sure there's one probably in Indianapolis or Columbus or somewhere close. So...
it felt good.
Yeah, you Harvest Pirate. We, like an idiot, I wasn't paying attention. I didn't realize what was going on.
Well, Scotty was scooping before it resolved.
Yeah, we got there, though. It was pretty cool, so congratulations, drawing live to the top 8. But just to finish up the... so you can win money. It's $250 cash.
Right.
It's a cash tournament. It's very lucrative. There's going to be tons of good matches to be had. Plus, you can win.
Free
also,
introduction to competitive REL.
Right, and also it's very fun too because for those of you who lots of people always say, man, I wish I could come down to an FNM, but I just can't it's too far away, can't do that. I mean, this is on a Saturday at noon, so you can leave at 7, 8 o'clock from the house, get here from a variety of different locations, and like I said, if you pile up the car, chop gas money, it'll be worth your while. You come down and meet everybody, have a good time, and again, it does help the store. So if you enjoy the stream and you've enjoyed watching it over the last 6 months. This is in fact our 6-month anniversary as far as the first 8th August 31st was the first time we did this. So this is in fact 6 weeks. So if you can come down and support that, that's good. Even if you can't support it, all that information is available on our website. There's a Facebook invitation on the store's website. If you could just share that with anybody that you might know who might want to come down, that would be a huge boon for us. I would definitely appreciate it. So, and another thing you mentioned too, kind of joking, but it is a very valid point from Garrett, is that so you can play in like a real competitive level tournament,
We will have a judge.
but there's not going to be 800 people.
It's not.
There's not going to be like, there might be some very competitive players, but there's not. I can guarantee you this is going to be the most casual, competitive environment that you can play in. So you can play with a lot online. You can get used to playing at the big, higher stakes tournaments, but at kind of a lower level in terms of stress. Mostly is the word I'm looking for. Should be fun, good times. You're going to play in it, right?
I'm a judge.
Jamie's going to judge.
I might be his rules advisor.
Rules advisor? You can't win money if you're the rules advisor.
Mostly if he offers me a judge promo. And by judge promo, I mean like Foil Noble Hierarch or something.
They don't get judge promos. JV doesn't even get judge promos anymore.
I know.
They changed that whole program. We did see this. I'll go ahead and bring it up. Eric caught it in the chat. I don't know who posted it, but they did just spoil the latest judge promo foil, which is Crucible of Worlds. So that looks really cool. It goes back to the same thing they did with the sword cycle, where they reprinted the swords as Judd promos in the Fire Ice and Light and Shadow with the old border. Very interesting. It's like a super important card in almost every EDH deck. It's legacy playable and good in cube.
Crucible of Worlds is a very good card.
Checklist completed. Talking about a card, is it EDH playable? Yes.
But to be perfectly honest, like the judge promos are they print specific judge cards for 2 reasons. Number one, EDH is the judge format. It was created by, so like they're going to print cards that they know that they want. And then number 2, they reprint cards that they can't really reprint in other situations, like Flusterstorm, like some of the legacy staples like Sneak Attack. But they do them knowing that it gives them an alternate art version of something that they haven't printed in alternate art before. So you can't have chase cards in that regard. So it should be good. Anything going on in
I can't read.
Some people are just trolling me in the chat, talking about the dog graphic again, making jokes about if I've ever considered selling Magic, which is always a classic.
Considered smelling magic.
I have considered smelling magic. Is there anything else? I thought there was like an actual question in there, but I think I may have been wrong. Was there something else we were going to talk about?
Brittany Smith added me as a friend on Facebook.
Well, congratulations.
I'm getting there.
Oh, I do want to mention, I do need to mention this. I haven't done it in the past.
Well, I brought it up.
Want to, of course, Garrett mentioning the folks at the South Florida Magic Legacy stream, but also want to remind everyone that we are partnering now with themtgnoob.com to share some cross-promotional opportunities. So if you're interested in Magic strategy, and they have a ton of playtesting videos, not just playtesting, but daily events, Pauper, Draft, Standard. So if you enjoy watching MTGO, basically like coaching videos, definitely head over there. I'm going to try to bring up something with so I can show it to you, but I'm very bad at what I do. So of course, there he is. I'll just block out all of y'all's faces. There you go. Perfect. TheMTGnoob.com. They got in touch with us, wanted to do some, like I said, cross-promotional stuff. So make sure you support those who support the stream. Head on over there for some more daily content. There will be a link to that website in our recap post, which you can find by going to facebook.com/ZachSellsMagic. Noob. And also, I don't have a graphic to show for them because they continue to not send me one. I've asked them for months because it's just out of my own, like, the one stream that I watch religiously is the South Florida Magic, and I'll put a link to them too, South Florida Magic Tuesday night Legacy stream, because I like Legacy. It's a very intimate broadcast, not unlike our own, and I enjoy it. So that when I say click the follow button so you can get an email notification, that's a service I use to remind me, hey, they're streaming Legacy this week, so I should go watch it. But they haven't sent me a graphics package to use. They also have a great website, so I'll put a link in the recap post to make sure to check that out over there. Garrett, I do want to get your opinion on this. We were talking about this earlier. Modern Masters. Any opinions or speculation as to what we're going to see reprinted?
Not Blood Elf.
Yeah, probably not Blood Braid. Wouldn't it be like the worst ever if they reprinted Blood Braid Elf and they're like, sorry, we sent the card list in before we decided to ban it. So it's like, there's a funny instance, back when I was in college, I used to go to Penguins hockey games all the time because I was only about an hour away and it was very cheap for students. And there was an instance my senior year of college where they had a bobblehead doll night scheduled and they traded the player the day before. And I had tickets to the game when we went, and so we got the bobblehead doll for a guy who didn't even play for the team anymore. So that could be a similar Blood Braid Elf situation.
I don't know, like.
Well, obviously Tarmogoyf's the only one they've actually spoiled. Eric was talking about earlier.
Right.
He saw some art that could very likely be City of Brass reprint, which would be interesting.
They want it to be a draftable format too.
Yeah, that's one thing we haven't talked about before.
What power level of cards are going to be? Like, is it just going to be all rares? Or what power level of cards are going to be at common? Yeah, they have to have some playable commons as well. We talked about one of the things that which is easy with cards like Path to Exile or something.
Yeah, we have Path to Exile. And,
Path will be reprinted too. Yeah. Well, well, Swords isn't illegal in the format.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
But they talk about wanting it to be draftable, and they're trying to build it so that you can draft modern decks. Like you can be able to draft Storm or draft Fairies or draft some other kind of linear decks that you want to.
Is like Noble Hierarch going to be rare?
It would have to be. Like, I mean, I understand what you're saying, and I haven't really thought about how they're going to distribute the breakdown. But I don't imagine they're going to print. And this is purely speculation, but I don't think they would print cards at a rarity lower than they were originally printed. Okay. I think they will.
What about cards currently in standard, like Lingering Souls?
They're not printing them. It's only up to Shards of Alara.
Okay.
And we were talking about that earlier because they've come out and said, and I wish I remember the exact verbiage, but they've said they don't want to reprint cards that have only been out for X number of years because, in a way, it kind of punishes people for. They don't want to come out and be like, hey, every card is fair game to reprint. We can reprint it the day after we print it the first time. So it's only up to Alara block because that's why they've already announced that that's why there's no fetch lands basically. Right. They've just come out and said that.
Yeah.
But so I mean, I think you're going to see some cards that should have been mythic, pre-mythics, like your Tarmogoyf, for example. Thanks, Jimmy.
You're welcome.
Like your Thoughts. Thought seems to be interesting. I don't know where it would be.
Where am I at? I'm also doing it on camera.
Yeah, you guys can play on camera.
Where am I playing?
Alec. Sorry. But you guys are on a winning end there. So go ahead and round him up.
Our win stream, we're playing top 8.
Yeah, well,
Interesting. Yeah, that is the good thing about Garrett, is when Garrett's in the top 8, we're playing them all. Play them all. No chops with Garrett. So that's fun. There was also a question, not to cut you off, but before I forget it, there's a question of, first of all, there's a question, do I like dogs? I do like dogs. Last week, you may remember, because for like an entire 10 minutes, all we did was show pictures of our dogs on our phone, because it was a very slow week. But how many do we expect for the Star City IQ? I would like to have 40. My target goal is 40. I think we want to hit 30 at a minimum, but should be a pretty lucrative evening or afternoon of Magic for anybody. So definitely check it out. Did you have something you were excited to cut you off there?
Oh, I was going to say, with Modern Masters, they definitely said that other than some of the rares going to Mythic level, they're going to keep everything else at the same rarity level.
Yeah, I think it would just mess with things way too much to print
Yeah.
You can't have Noble Hierarch or equivalent card uncommon. That would just ruin.
I mean, the other way around is pretty.
You can't say we're not going to print too much of this to to saturate the market, and then have those cards at uncommon, because it's just those two things kind of counteract each other. But let's go ahead and switch back over to